Hey everyone, I am back with our August market update. I'm finally getting on here today at basically almost 6 o'clock, but we can look at some numbers for August. I will actually have a static post on my feed with some of the RAB numbers that come out as well, but we can take a quick look at everything that we've got so far. So today, I'm going to be going over, again, these are RAB stats. It's the RAB board. I am a member of the TREB board. If you want numbers specific to that board, all you have to do is let me know, message me, find me on here somehow, and we can get you that information. Yeah, so here we go. I'm going to be going over, as always, and I apologize, I'm always going to be looking to the side because that's where my computer is. When I figure out a better way to do that, I will, but for right now, that's what we're doing. So either way, I hope you're staying dry. If you have any questions, you can always get a hold of me on my website, on this channel, on any of my platforms, and you can ask me any of those questions at that time, and you can always email me as well. So today we're going to be going over the usual 4 things. We're going to be going over how many active listings we have in the board right now, what is the inventory rate, sales to list price as well, what are we seeing as far as that, and average days on market. So again, this is going to be super general because the board is really big. It encompasses Niagara numbers, Hamilton numbers, all of those things. So you want to make sure to keep that in mind. If you're thinking of your own specific property, every house, like I always say, is specific to the area, the size of the home, the style of the home, and the price point, and all kinds of stuff. So if we can get some information from the general numbers just to give you an overall, it's usually pretty helpful. But again, if you're looking for specific numbers for yourself, go ahead and get a hold of me. We can do that. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to be going over is number of active listings. So right now on the RAB board, there are, and this includes all listings. So it's all active listings, detached, semis, condos, everything. That's 18,178, and it's actually pretty steady from last month. The number of freehold detached only are 13,785. Again, pretty steady from last month as well. If we're talking about just Hamilton, all actives, including conditionally sold, so not yet marked as firm solds, that is 1,389. And that would give you 13 weeks of inventory in Hamilton, which is 3 months. So closest we've ever been to a buyer's market. Niagara, all actives, 2,225. Again, pretty standard from last week. There wasn't too much of a change. That actually gives us 18 weeks of inventory, but 4.5 months of inventory, which is the closest, again, that we've been all year to a buyer's market. Where I am in Grimsby, we have 129 active listings right now. And so number 2, sold in the last week. So the last week we have an overall inventory rate of 14 weeks. And if you remember from last month, it was 12.4 weeks. So we're actually up a little bit more in inventory as well. And then sold in the last week just in RAB is just in the last 7 days is 1,292. If you're a numbers person, then that might mean something to you, but basically we still have a high inventory. That's the general idea here. Okay, so the average sales. So we're going to look at actual price point. So the average price point, or what we call like our average list price, so the actual price that we're listing homes on the market for, not that they're selling for, the number we call it like what we're advertising the house for. So that is now a little bit lower, and it does show a little bit of an adjustment. And if you've been listening to the rest of my content or anywhere else in the world, you'll know that in Ontario right now we have about a 12 to 15% decrease in price as far as the market's been adjusting. So we went from last month, which the average list price was 983,239, and now the average list price is lower at 924,961. So you can kind of see price point adjusting there. The average sale price went from 800,000, so 803,000 to 764,000. So again, it's pretty relative. we are seeing lower list prices, lower sale prices, basically adjusting exactly to what the market has been doing. And the average days on market is actually the highest it's been all year, even compared to last month. So the average days on market in the RAB board right now is 42 days. And the only other month this year where we've had like even close to that, so the second highest month of average days on market this year is January, and January was at 35 days. So we are almost 10 days longer than that, and that's average days. And we see a lot of listings, at least I do, that are, again, the higher the price point, sometimes the longer they're up, but we're seeing like 55 days. I've seen some that have been up for almost 100 days. So again, it's all depending on the product you have for sale, and there's a million different reasons for it and all that stuff, but it is a very high average days on market. If we think back to the frenzy that we were experiencing before, the average days on market was typically 7 days, and it was probably lower than that, but the average days was like that because we were holding offers for 5 to 7 days, meaning we weren't looking at offers at all for that first week of list, just to make sure everyone could see the property before it gets sold. So that's kind of a really bird's eye view, a really high perspective, high level perspective, I guess I was trying to say, as to why we're seeing what we're seeing. And I touched on this a little bit in my past couple of videos, especially the Q&A from August. I've just been getting a lot of similar questions, and so I put a little bit more effort into that Q&A. Well, I put a little more time into it. It was a little bit longer as well. So again, if you want to see any of my other content, or you want numbers that are specific to your home, or you'd like a home evaluation, oh, let's just do this. I'm like a home evaluation. You can go ahead and message me on any of my platforms, or you can find me on my website at danielabiaggi.com. I hope you found this helpful. I'm waving to all the people who have waved. I don't know if I can even do that, but if I don't wave to you, I meant to. Thank you guys so much for joining.